Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
This episode is brought to you by Alexa Plus. Say hello to Alexa Plus and see how Alexa can do more for you. Need tickets to that last-minute show? Craving your favorite restaurant? Sit back, relax, and talk naturally. Alexa's on it. Alexa learns your preferences to create a personalized experience. And now, Alexa Plus is free with Prime on your Amazon devices, like Echo and Fire TV. Learn more at amazon.com/Alexa Plus.
Everybody, we're back with another episode of Horror Movie Night, and this week, Scott, you are having us venture into some more Italian horror. We just couldn't get enough after Suspiria with 1991's The Sect. Got to really pronounce that S with my Delco accent.
Vasectomy, that's what we call it.
Oh, I had one of those last year.
My double feature is with Vasectomy the movie.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Just Sect all the way around.
So, Scott, so this was kind of a blind one for all of us, right? None of us had fully seen this movie yet.
Yeah. Oops. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting, but
no, this was. I will say this much up front. I think that this is a really solid 80-minute movie idea in a 116-minute long movie length.
Way too fucking long.
Yeah, that's crazy length, bro.
Yeah, I think my Letterboxd review said something of like, this is a slow burn in all of the wrong ways.
Yeah.
Like,
it's beautiful. Honestly, it's some of Saovi's best work. But I don't ever want to watch it again. Yeah, I'll watch The Church again, and The Church has a worse plot.
Yeah, I think the problem with this one, and we'll dive into the plot in a second, but I think the problem with this one is like, I wanted it to get church crazy, and there are like some crazy moments, but I feel like The Church was one of those movies where when it hit the crazy point, it was like unrelentingly crazy.
Yeah, it didn't stop
that
being
point.
crazy. Yeah.
And I feel like it got to the crazy like within like the 30-minute mark. This one takes almost an hour for it to really start getting crazy, and then the crazy is like few and far between at times. Like there's some lulls in there, so.
Yeah, well, so this had been on my long list, and I saw that it was on. I was going to do it last spring, and then I had already picked too many Italian horror movies. So I was like, I'll save it for a while.
You reached your quota.
Well, and then summer came, and I had other things on my mind that I wanted to do. We do listener submitted in September, and also all last year it wouldn't have worked because it was it was actually 2 years ago when I put it on my list, because last year we were only doing movies that were anniversaries, so 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. So this is actually 35 years old this year. So unintentionally in our anniversaries. But so I put this on my Shudder watch list, promptly forgot about it, and when Matt gave us the go ahead to start building out our spring picks, I was like, haven't done an Italian horror. Now, just stay with me for a second. Hadn't done an Italian horror for a while. I'll pick that. And then we are doing Suspiria, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is an Italian movie. Also written and directed by the co-writer and co-producer of this movie, right? Argento co-wrote and produced this.
This is I did notice this has a real like Tim Burton presents The Nightmare Before Christmas energy. Like Dario Argento's name is pretty big on every box art that you find for this, when he does not have that much to do with the actual final product.
I think that he might have just thrown him about $1,000 and been like, go do, you know?
Yeah, it does. But he did co-write it, but there was like one or two other writers. And then, of course, he's just that big push on the production side. And I guess it does feel a little less like a stage fright at the church, and it feels a little more tame, but also more expansive. Like definitely trying to do have a few more layers to what's going on here. And it all starts in South California, and you know bad shit happens there.
I was just there. It's fine. I didn't die. Well, I do. So I guess let's get into it. So the movie starts in 1970 in Southern California. There's a group of hippies that are living out in the desert or camping. It looks like, you know, they're just kind of doing the hippie thing. And the first thing you see is a very young boy, maybe 4 years old, whip out his wiener. You don't see the wiener, but he whips out his wiener and starts taking a piss on some bird feathers, and immediately starts crying, ostensibly because he's scared by a snake in the grass, which we don't even have to get into why that is a euphemism right there. But the second thing we see is a close-up of a man cupping a breast and painting it. And I'm like, I really need to do a better job of screening these movies, because you know, like, it's Italian, it's Soviet. I should have known better. Honestly, this movie isn't that bad.
Those are the hippie things that you're talking about, though. Doing hippie stuff is just cupping a boob and painting a butterfly on it. That's what I think.
I've seen the documentary Woodstock. That's all there was to it.
That's all it is.
So this guy, what's his name? Damon, not Damien. I thought it was Damien, and then I had to check to see what his name actually was. This guy Damon shows up, and he speaks in Sympathy for the Devil lyrics, and they think that's pretty fucking cool. So they offer him some eggplant stew. He accepts, and then promptly him and his biker gang ritualistically murder all of them. And, you know, it's like, oh, this is for the devil. So fast forward to Frankfurt, Germany in 1991. And this guy, Martin Romero, very on the nose, if you ask me, he's following this woman through the streets before he murders her. And then he takes her heart. He cuts out her heart, runs to the subway, and is caught by the police and says, they made me do it, and shoots himself in the mouth, blowing his brains on the subway walls. Everybody is very chill, surprisingly, for seeing someone, blow their own brains out. So this happens, and then we see a school teacher named Miriam, played by Kelly Curtis, who I watched this entire movie not realizing is the younger sister of Jamie Lee Curtis. Did you guys not know that either?
No clue.
Okay.
Wow.
She doesn't look like her.
Does she do other things? Has Kelly Curtis done other things?
I mean, I looked at her IMDb, and she has done some television, mostly just like single episodes, like some Deep Space Nine, some Sentinel 96, not the Sentinel the movie, but some TV show called The Sentinel. I think she's just a regular kind of lady. But in any case, she's
good for her.
Relatively good in this. I'm grading this movie on the Saovi score. So it's Italian, it's odd, it is definitely something lost in translation. It's also very Fever Dream-esque. So I'm giving it a lot of leeway. Anyway, she is before we see Miriam after we see this old man dressed up like an unhoused person, kind of having like a seizure or something on a train, and he decides that the only thing that he can do to help himself feel better is to pour coffee into his eyes and use a dropper and put coffee in his eyes. That looks super painful. I don't know what they used for that. Maybe it was just brown food coloring and water, but probably sucked to do that scene for that guy. But he gets off the train and is more or less immediately hit by Miriam driving down the street. So she, for whatever reason, takes him back to her house, and they have this like deep conversation about the meaning of life. And she says, one of them says something fucking crazy. It's like, oh, it's the guy. He goes, religion helps you die. It's like, because she's like, oh, religion helps you live. And he's like, no, religion helps you die. And it's such a funny, like, satanic panic, like a rollover of the satanic panic, like the concept of like Satanism as a death cult. It's just very funny. That might also be some lost in translation shit right there. But he's very forceful with her.
Always a risk on these.
Yeah, it really is. He's very forceful with her. He's like yelling at her. He's like grabbing her wrist, and she's just like, "Oh, why are you being so loud?" I'm like, that guy just assaulted you. Kick him out of your fucking
He
house.
assaulted you in your own. You brought him back to your own. I'm sorry.
Well,
I shouldn't be victim blaming. It's an unsafe situation.
We shouldn't be victim blaming, but
Yeah, but definitely a yeah, but here.
Yeah, but like the conceit of just like, hello, person who's hitchhiking. Instead of driving you to a destination, why don't you live with me like the setup of a bad sitcom? Like, there's only going to be problems that come from that starting point.
And I'm stuck on the fact that this dude is played by Herbert Lom, who has played a Phantom in the Hammer Phantom of the Opera, in 1962's Phantom of the Opera. So now I'm stuck on that. And then, Scott, you will get here, but when he starts to descend levels of like on his subterranean levels, I'm like, oh, he really is. He's been a Phantom this whole time.
Well, Kyle, I have a quick question for you. How did you know so quickly that he was in an adaptation of a Phantom of the Opera thing?
Well, it's something that I know about. I don't know if anybody knows this. I'm not well versed. I'm learning. I'm taking a class in the form of a podcast that I co-host called Phantom of the Pod Project that you can listen to on the Geekscape network with my friend and mortal enemy Evan Fonseca.
Shit.
Two things can be true.
Yeah, well, that's apparently you can also pick up an unhoused looking old man that you run over, and you guys can be enemies to lovers. Not quite, but he can be your surrogate father. So he really grills her, and he tells her that she's not living her life. He promptly has
a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, it's very presumptuous. So he she doesn't know that he is part of this satanic sect that is like apparently known enough in Germany for them to have a television, like a news segment about it, like, oh, the spread of Satanism. So she goes to sleep, does not lock her door, and creepy old man puts a beetle up her nose. Great scene, very gross.
Which one? Ringo?
God damn, Matt, that is a stupid joke. Still gotta laugh out of us. Anyway, she then trips balls, and it's great. I mean, like, I think that the dream sequences are so odd and great.
Yeah. So definitely Ringo. Shit, you're right.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, this is definitely when they went to the.
This is a weird sequel. This is a weird sequel to Yellow Submarine, is what you're trying to say.
Exactly. Basic. That's more or less what I'm saying. Just needs more sitar. That's literally the only thing this movie was missing.
A lot more sitar. Satanic sitar.
Oh my God! Found my next EP title. Yo. She wakes up from this dream trip and sees that Mobius. It's Mobius, but they pronounce it oddly. So I'm just gonna say Mobius. Old man Mobius is not breathing. So she calls the police, and they pronounce him dead. This is after he's gone down to this like secret part of her house that goes down
she's
to
got
into
like
a sewer.
secret sewage system underneath her home.
Yeah, like I thought that it was an apartment, and then later on she's like walking around the outside, and I'm like, oh, it's a house. Makes no sense because she's like, after they find his body down there, her and this doctor, Dr. Franz, her friend Franz, they find the body with this caul over his face, and she's like, I've only been living here for 8 months. I didn't know that this was there. I'm like, 8 months is a long goddamn time to not know that there's an entire sewer under your house, like a walkable sewer.
Yeah.
And and she also, like, she has this white rabbit that she doesn't name. She just says it's called Rabbit. And she has like an adversarial relationship with this pet. It gets lost down in these sewers. And then she goes looking for it, and some random woman like attacks her and steals like a nylon stocking. She fights with her, and the woman flees, and you really don't see her again until like the end of the movie. But the next day, so they cart the body away, and Miriam is obviously shaken, and the next day she goes back to school and finds out that the mother of one of her students, the mother's name is Claire, is missing. But she brings Claire's child to her house. Again, very odd decision-making skills here. And the girl's dad shows up and informs her that her missing mom was an entomologist, and the beetle that, you figure it out, that the beetle that was stuck up Miriam's nose has been extinct for 10,000 years. It really doesn't move the plot along much, but you do meet her friend Catherine, and Catherine comes back to her house with her next, and is attacked by the caul that was on Mobius's face, goes to a truck stop, kind of like propositions this dude for sex in the back of a trailer. You think that she's holding a knife, you think that she's going to kill him. No, he kills her, and he's like, she told me to do it. The body gets taken to a hospital where they attempt to keep her alive long enough for Miriam to get there. She's pronounced dead. Catherine is pronounced dead on the table, and then miraculously wakes up and tries to choke Miriam to death before slitting her own throat. People that see this, multiple people, people of science see this and say, oh, it was just catalepsy. Oh, it's muscle spasms.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Scream 4 had nobody in this hospital. This is the opposite of that scene where everybody watches it happen and then just is like, nah, that's just medicine.
Yeah,
that's biology.
Some things we'll never understand. Now, can I please have my copay? It's wild.
This is the 5th time that a corpse has jumped up and slit its own throat this week in this hospital.
I don't think that the hospital is the problem, Matt. I think that Miriam really is kind of the nucleus of all this weird shit happening, and she seems to be very oblivious. She's not convinced that Mobius is dead, so she asks Franz to go to the mausoleum to find his body. He finds instead a tin can shaped like a coffin full of gross liquid, and a Leatherface's next piece of jewelry. They say, let's leave. So they leave, and from now until the end of the movie, we kind of are off to the races, because this was a lot of tension in quotation marks, because not a lot was happening. There were long stretches of like, I don't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
But then we get all the weird shit happening where the Satanic Sect is at Miriam's house. Damon from the beginning of the movie is still alive. He shows up at the house with these implements they use to, these hooks that they use to rip Claire's face off, put them on the body of Mobius, which resurrects him. and then they
Highlight of the movie, side note, this is such an insanely gnarly scene.
It's crazy because like I'm watching it and I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like Miriam. Are they ripping off Miriam's face? No, it's Claire. Oh, I forgot all about this woman. This movie is way too long for my attention span, apparently. So it all comes out that the plan is that they are going to impregnate Miriam. They have been like following Miriam through her whole life. I guess it's implied that she is one of the children from the first part, but it doesn't seem like it really makes sense. In any case, they say that she is going to be the mother of the Antichrist, and they impregnate her with
Mazel tov.
with a stork. And I made this joke with the guys before we started recording, but again, at the beginning of this episode, you all listeners heard me say I should have done a little bit of better job of screening this before picking it, because if you go on doesthedogdie.com, I don't think Antichrist impregnation by stork is like one of the categories that you'll find. So I may have been on my own regardless. It's not that bad of a scene because
your sources led you astray. As
the stork is like doing its thing, it's very implied, because mostly what the stork is doing is eating maggots or eating like mealworms out of Miriam's neck. She then, in a time dilation, becomes ultra pregnant and gives birth to the Antichrist, who is just a regular baby.
And a beautiful water birth.
Oh, yeah, it feels so cleansing. I would recommend it to anyone who is going to be giving birth to the Antichrist.
Yeah, why not be comfy?
Yeah.
That is probably the most peaceful Antichrist birth. It feels like a very peaceful Antichrist birth.
Just wait for my double feature because it's a stark contrast, all right? So Franz, her friend Franz, is like being chased by the Satanists, runs his car off the road, and it bursts into flames. He dies, and it's still burning. And Mobius says to Miriam, I can be your new dad. You can be the mother of the Antichrist, or you can just walk away. She decides to be the mother of the Antichrist, or you think she is handed the Antichrist, runs away, and jumps into the burning flames. Mobius follows her, tries to save the Antichrist. They all burn up, and then the next morning you see the firefighters basically putting out the flames, and there's a voiceover. Miriam lives. She gets up out of the ashes and is like, Saovi was smart enough here. He was like, I don't think people are going to get it. So let me just have the voiceover say, he sacrificed himself because I was his mother and he loved me, which doesn't seem like a very Antichristy kind of thing to do.
No.
No, it doesn't. There's
end scene. Roll credits.
Yeah. It's first of all, well done. Very succinct.
Well done, dude.
Very succinct description
really
of a movie that refuses to be succinct.
Thank you. I was really trying to get it to 15 minutes, and I got 18 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good, honestly.
But you did it at all. The fact you did it at all, because I was like, I didn't watch this that long ago. 2 days before we're doing this recording.
No memories
by the way, so that helps.
Yeah.
It is tough. Yeah. It is tough. But those moments, there are very strong moments.
There are. I think I agree with something Scott said, where it's like, I'm not mad that I watched this. I'm glad that I have checked this off on the box of things to watch. But the chances of me revisiting this movie are slim to none. This was all right, I watched it, I saw it, I think that there are movies that we've talked about very recently, or movies that we're talking about in the future, that are all a much higher rewatch scale than this
and
was.
It's not to say that it's not a pretty looking movie.
No, I think people should see it. I just think, man, that 2 hour runtime for the level of quality content in those 2 hours is a little uneven.
It feels indulgent.
It feels very indulgent. Yeah,
I feel like I would have. I don't know. When I get a disc, I'm not. I usually don't rank them this way, but I would say if I got the 4K of this from Severin, just because it came out and people were stoked, and this is what I got, sort of sight unseen, I might be bummed that I spent the money on the disc, even though it's so beautiful. So I'm very glad that like I watched it. You said you watched it on Shudder. Is it still on Shudder?
Yeah,
it's on there right
I saw
now.
it on
as
Eternal
of today,
Family.
as
Like,
of recording.
There are ways to see it. Though you should still support your boutique label. I'm glad I didn't get it from Severin because I eyeballed it a few times, just be like, it seems interesting, but glad we watched it for the show.
You know, for some people, this is actually also known as Devil's Daughter. I think the big thing that we've really missed out on here, and I'm glad that I went here to see this, The Church, which was the film right before this, is referred to as Demons 3. This is called Demons 4 in some countries, and boy, is this a stark contrast to the energy of the 3 previous things that tied demons to their name. This is definitely my least favorite of the Demons franchise. If we're including it in there.
What's your favorite? That's the real question.
I mean, The Church was pretty great, but I feel
I was
like
about
that's
to say,
also
if it's not The Church, I'm gonna eat my hat. I don't even wear a hat.
I mean, I do like Demons too. I don't know. There's something fun about Demons too, but they're all fine movies.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Predator Badlands, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Here, you're not the predator. You're the prey. 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 Prey.
Critics are saying it's epic, stunning, and breathtaking.
Many have come here. None have survived.
Predator Badlands, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+, rated PG-13.
Are you troubled by trying to find a great movie podcast to listen to?
Do you experience a love for monster movies from the classic Universal era to the modern creature features?
Have you, or your family, ever watched episodes of Elvira, Monster Vision, or Svengoolie?
If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Open up your podcatcher and search for the professionals. The Monster Rally Podcast.
Our hilarious and asinine hosts have an ever-growing library of episodes for you to listen to 24 hours a day to serve all your monster movie needs.
We'll talk about it.
But Scott, speaking of fine movies, what would you watch with a group of friends after you sat through The Sect?
Now, this would be very much for me, and I would obviously be picking The First Omen.
Okay. You do love that movie. I still need to see that movie.
I still need to see that movie too.
I know it's streaming somewhere. It's on my list of things that are available streaming that I want to watch.
First Omen. That makes sense. Okay.
This has almost nothing to do with what we watched, but it captures what I wanted this movie to be. So I would watch Beyond the Door 3. I think. Like
I was thinking you might pick that.
Yeah, like I need like just a crazy balls to the wall Italian horror movie. I think that's a little bit more what I'm looking for.
I am going with The Sentinel.
Okay,
which
that makes a lot of sense.
It feels like it goes with it too, and it's just really like just bombastic relationships of people that you somehow have stumbled into their lives, or they have stumbled into yours. So not quite sure if it would land with anybody else, but I would enjoy the hell out of a double feature of these two.
For sure. Kyle, you had mentioned your podcast, Phantom of the Podpra, and your co-host, Evan Fonseca.
Yeah.
I believe there's a short film that ties into that world as well.
Yes, yeah. If you just can't get enough of us in that regard, you can check out our short film Always On, which at the time of this has already played in Norwalk Film Festival, and it did fucking gangbusters.
People loved it, we assume. But
yeah, we are coming to New Bedford Film Festival in New Bedford, Massachusetts, April 9th through the 12th. That'll be a fun one too. They also have Vinny DeSanti, who is the director of Never Hike Alone.
Yeah.
You got. Well,
it's
he was
weird.
On the show.
Does he go by Vinny now? Because he was Vincent.
So I don't know.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if he like relaxed, like he undid his tie a little bit, and he's like, I'm Vinny now.
He tightened it even tighter.
He might be Vincent on the board or on the panels. But it's Mr. DeSanti is one of the programmers over there too.
Love his water,
and he programmed an awesome horror block. Always On is not horror. It is a comedy short. With, well, if you know me, you'll find some of those elements in there, but we are going to have a screening in New Bedford, and then hopefully we'll have some more festivals this year, and then some more news once we end that festival run. But
Matt, have you seen it yet?
You can follow along.
I haven't.
Oh, it's so good.
Someone hasn't sent it to me, so
what a dick.
I'll send it to you. No, it's okay. God bless one of our actors, Kendall. But when I sent out the announcement to our cast and crew, she was like, "Hey, I still haven't seen it." And I was like, "Oh man, I'm bad at this."
Kyle.
Well, you know what? I kind of just dropped it out of nowhere. But another thing that you co-direct it with me.
Yes.
Untitled Weird Al Yankovic video game documentary.
Yeah.
We did release that on Geekscape TV. So if you go on Geekscape TV, you can search for it. It's a 6-minute doc that you and I did about my friend Jim's text-based RPG game about Weird Al Yankovic. Not so much about the game, but about the lengths that we went to try to allow him to play the game again after all these years.
And Apple II came up on this auction site that I look at a lot from this antique dealer nearby, and I got all giddy thinking about the lengths we went to get this Apple II to make this disc work.
Amazing.
And we could have had one.
We
could have had one ourselves.
Would have made it so much easier. But less compelling.
Far less compelling.
Go and support our show in so many different ways. You can go to patreon.com/HMN podcast, get videos of us, get early episodes of us, get bonus episodes of us, join the Slack for Geekscape TV, go to hmnpodcast.dashery.com and buy some merch. Support the podcast with a t-shirt. Find us on all of our socials, HMN Podcast, everywhere, and visit our website, hmnpodcast.com. Now, before we wrap up the show, what is something that you guys have read, watched, listened to, etc., that you want to talk about?
All right, I will go first as it was my movie. On my flight, I watched a bad movie and a good movie. I'm going to start with the bad one, Black Phone 2. Absolutely atrocious. Have you guys watched it?
Dude, I didn't hate Black Phone 2, but as someone who loved Black Phone 1, I was like, what the fuck did they do?
Can't believe...
why are they turning this character into a knockoff Freddy?
He's
it was
literally a Freddy Krueger.
Boring.
The scene in the kitchen is basically a Freddy
a Freddy scene. Yeah, no. I will ride hard for Black Phone, like the original Black Phone, as being a very smart ghost story. I don't know what the fuck this was, but this was not for me.
So here's the thing about Joe Hill is he's never going to outrun the accusations that he's ripping off his fucking dad when he greenlights a movie that's literally it. But it's such a king. All those characters are so fucking obnoxious little teenagers, and I could not stand it. Anyway, I want to talk about a movie that I really did like, Predator: Badlands. Did you guys see it? Matt, did you see it in theaters?
No, I am. Now that there are children roaming my home at all
You don't go to
times,
theaters much,
I don't get the theaters as much. But I did see that it dropped on Disney Plus, and I watched it, and I liked it. It's fun.
It was really funny to see a Predator with a Manic Pixie Dream Girl robot.
Yep.
Like, it was not what I was expecting at all, and I would not have picked it otherwise. But I mean, like, except for the fact that I was on a plane and was a captive audience. But it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
All right. How about you there, Kyle?
Yeah. I got some music to recommend. I came across on Shuffle years ago, came across a band called the Olympians, and they do this sort of like retro soul R&B instrumentals that I play often when I'm writing and just need something to like have on in the background. And they dropped a new album, which I didn't realize that their last album was 10 years ago, just self-titled. And then this new one is called In Search of a Revival. And I know for me, oftentimes like with music, if I get really deep into an album or like really into something, it'll just sort of like consume my brain with, especially like with like thinking about the lyrics and like I don't know, sometimes instrumental, what I'm getting at is like an instrumental thing that rips is so great and cleansing and still stimulating, right? Like it's still, so I love, it's because a lot of those curated playlists that are like chill, like lo-fi vibes and just like all that shit doesn't do it for me. I still need something that has, and I still even have some hard time with like jazz curated playlists, at least in, and maybe I need to dig deeper, but like in a very general surface level, like here are the new jazz songs that are coming out. Like, I don't know enough. I need something that like is a little more curated and a little more specific. This Olympians album is just like, it's exactly what I want. It's so solid. So yeah, I've been really digging it. It's been a nice, like refreshing thing to kind of come across in my new music ventures.
Well, I love that. And I read a YA book, Stop the Presses, I know. I read a book called Don't Read the Comments by Eric Smith. This was more fun than I thought it was going to be. Honestly, it is about a female gamer who becomes very popular on Twitch and then basically gets into a battle with a bunch of trolls that are trying to take her down strictly for being a girl gamer. And it is very stressful at points because it's very close to real life, but it ends in kind of one of those like, fuck yeah, throw your fist in the air with excitement and victory that, good triumphs over evil in a way that sometimes only the world of fiction seems to be able to do. But yeah, this was a good one. I knocked this one out in like 3 nights. So anytime that like a book has me enticed to read like almost 100 pages a day, I feel like it's worthy of me mentioning on the show. Speaking of being worthy of the show, everything that we talk about, including the Sect, but tune in next week to see if we have another worthy contender for Horror Movie Night. And we'll be back every Thursday night with more Horror Movie Night.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.